Welcome to Pure and Simple, a Camp Deer Run podcast. We hope you'll be encouraged to keep on the path as you follow Jesus each day. Hey everybody, the pure and simple truth that we'll be thinking about today is that I can find joy in the Lord. And I'm really excited that we have Roselyn Spencer on the episode today. She was a first-time summer staff member this past summer. She did an amazing job and was so much fun to work with and to watch as she served and blessed the campers during her first summer. She is an incredibly joyful person, and I'm happy that she's here to share some thoughts about finding joy in the Lord. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. How are you today, Roselyn?
I'm doing great.
And if you don't recognize the name, a lot of people would know her by Ro. So you told me a minute ago before we started recording, you were really enjoying your first semester in college. What are you enjoying?
I'm enjoying track. Obviously, that's been really fun. But I would say the biggest thing I've been enjoying is just all the people here. Everyone is so nice and welcoming. The professors really care about you, and I just love all my friends here.
That's great. Well, appreciate you taking the time to be with us on here today. And the pure and simple truth we're going to be talking about is that I can find joy in the Lord. And so I just wondered, from your perspective, why is this important? Why does this thought matter, that I can find joy in the Lord?
To me, I think it's important because joy is almost a response to trusting in God. I feel like having joy, it's not just being happy all the time, but when you trust God, no matter what your circumstances are, you can still find that joy in Him. And if you're still trying to hold on, control your life, hold on to those things you're worrying about, you're not trusting Him, and you can't be free and find that joy in your life.
How would you differentiate between happiness and joy?
I would just say that happiness is just purely circumstantial, whatever's happening to you in that moment depends on if you're happy, if you're not, and that can go back and forth really easily. Whereas joy is something that you always have if you're trusting in God, and if you just remember the the truth that He loves you and He's got a plan for you.
Yeah. And it's kind of going off script already, but when you think about the world and the messages being thrown at you about where to find joy, not just where to find happiness, but even where the world is saying you can find joy versus what, obviously the Bible would teach us we find this in the Lord. What do you see as the differences that are being put forth?
Yeah, well, the only way to find joy is in God, I think. And the world will try to tell you, find it in yourself, find who you are. You have to, always look nice to be happy. You have to have worth in some way. Maybe you have to be smart, or you have to be in a relationship, or you have to be funny, or all of those things that you're always trying to do. And if you're trying to do those things and gain happiness by your own means, it'll always just be shallow. It'll never be true. It'll never be truly fulfilling.
Yeah. So those pursuits, not all of them are wrong in of themselves, but those pursuits, if you're trying to fill something empty with those, it's always going to be empty. It's always going to be running out and needing more, and this joy we can have in the Lord is different. So, well, what is difficult? What is difficult about finding joy in the Lord?
I would say that in certain circumstances, it can just be hard to remember that God is still there. When things are not going your way, or you don't feel like you have worth in the earthly things that you're trying to do, it can be difficult to remember how much worth you have to God, and just the unconditional love He has. But I would say, yeah, just based on based on things that happen day to day.
Mhm.
Your emotions can go up and down and up and down.
Yeah. So based on your circumstances, if you let that always dictate what's going on inside of you, then you're going to be on a roller coaster.
Right. Like I sometimes have a hard time finding joy when I'm not doing well in track. And I
Mm.
have to remember that like track is just not that important in the big scheme of things.
Right? But it is important right now in your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm hearing you say if you don't kind of balance that with the other realities of things that are important and your relationship with God, then it is up and down based on how you're doing. Well, I was going to read from Psalm 16, verse 11. This is the ESV. It says, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." I just love that version because it tells us where joy, the fullness of joy is found, and it's in God's presence. So, I can find joy in the Lord is really, I will find the fullness of joy when I'm walking, living, breathing in His presence all the time. So I think one thing that's difficult is keeping that in mind through the ups and downs of a day or a week or a year. I'm always in His presence, no matter what's going on. Well, when you think about Jesus and how He lived out, because obviously He was a joyful person, He's the perfect embodiment of a godly life. How do you see Jesus live this out while He was here on earth?
Um, Something that's been on my heart recently, that I've been seeing Jesus living out joy is that no matter what he was doing, he just always took time to be with God. And like joy comes from God. And so if you don't spend time with God, you can't draw from his spring. And Jesus always went by himself off in prayer, and just spent time with God. And I think that's something that is kind of hard to do whenever this world kind of tells you you have to be busy and you have to do this and do your homework and hang out with people. It can be hard to just spend time with God, but that's really the most important thing, and that's where you can like replenish your soul. Kind of that sounds really dramatic, but that's what I think.
No, that's great. I definitely think Jesus shared that example, in what He taught, but also in how He lived. And certainly He lived from that well, from that place and that relationship. Well, this is probably an easy answer because it's like you kind of told us how Jesus did it, but how can we live this out? What do you think? How can we practice living out, finding joy in the Lord?
Well, spending time with God, I would say, is definitely number one. But I think the other way is just practicing like gratitude and thankfulness. Like maybe when things aren't quite going your way, like the circumstances are not the best, and maybe you don't feel happy, you can remember God's faithfulness and just count the blessings that you do have, and just remember God's love, and that can kind of restore your sense of joy. Even if maybe you're not happy, you can still have joy in that security of knowing how good that God is.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So you can think about who God is and what He's done, and even what He says about you, which kind of relates back to our theme from this summer. Because I do think some of these internal negative thoughts or things that other people say about us can weigh us down when pretty sure what God has said about us matters the most. That's great. Well, what encouragement would you give to any campers that are listening right now and about this topic of finding joy in the Lord? Like, how would you encourage them to be with God and to do this?
Um, I would just want to encourage them by saying, like, you are so awesome and God loves you. And just a great way to remember that is just to spend time with God, and to set aside time for Him. I really think that is so, so important. And that's been on my heart recently. So I would encourage anybody who's listening, to just make sure to set aside time with God and pray to Him, and He'll fill you with joy.
Hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, and I think when we realize the importance of that time with God and how that helps us anchor in this in His presence and in this thought of living a joyful day and living no matter what's going on with joy in our hearts, I think is powerful. So awesome. I want to switch gears now and ask you a few questions just to let people know you a little better. So we said you go to Harding, but I'm going to chunk some other questions about college, about camp, maybe just some other fun questions in there too. So prepare yourself. So, do you have a major at this point?
I do. Medical humanities is my major.
Nice. What is your current career aspiration?
I want to go into the medical field and I want to work with kids. I'm still deciding exactly what I want to do, but I've been thinking occupational therapy, like teach kids how to, walk and use a spoon or different things that they just need to do if they may be a little behind.
Is this one of those you'll be in school for a very long time?
It'll take 2 years of grad school after
Okay.
after the regular four.
Yeah, that's not terrible. Well, that's great. What is your favorite or one of your favorite Bible verses?
One of my favorite Bible verses. That is so hard. Let's see. Um,
Not because she doesn't know any Bible verses, because she's
yes. Let's see. One that I've been thinking about recently, and it may be because we just had the retreat earlier, but First Timothy 4:12 I've been thinking about a lot. Don't let anyone look down on you because you're young, but set an example for the believers. I really like that verse because I felt like I was old at the end of high school, and then I came to college, and I feel like I'm like new and young. And actually, a question that somebody asked me was like, how are you leading God's people right now? And I'm like, I just don't feel like I'm leading God's people right now. I feel like I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I'm like, that verse kind of just encourages me to like know that I can still lead God's people. And there's things that I can do to help others and to lead others toward God, even though I feel like I'm young and new and don't have much experience here at college.
That's great. Um, if you could go back and tell yourself, your seventh grade self, something,
Oh
anything,
boy.
what would you be? What would you
Oh, my seventh grade self would need a lot of things told to me probably. Um, I would probably just tell my seventh grade self that your worth does not come from what others think about you or how good you do in sports or in school. That your worth comes from God, and just to spend as much time as you can serving God's people and serving God. That's probably what I would say.
That's great. We'll go for a little lighter here, a little easier questions. But what's your favorite sports team, and what
My
sport?
favorite sports team.
And what
Oh
sport?
man, you mean like to watch?
However you want to define it.
Okay, this is terrible, but I'm not even a huge sports fan. My dad would be so disappointed. He loves watching sports. I like playing sports, but
Wow.
let's see the
Favorite sports team is the Bison's track team. At this,
Bison. Yes, go Bisons. I mean the only games that I've even like heard about recently is like Alabama because of Caleb Purefoy. He roll tide or whatever. But I wouldn't say I'm a dedicated fan to really any team.
I'm kind of surprised by that, but that's cool. I like it. You like the games you're in? That's good.
I
Uh,
do. Yeah, I don't really have time to watch sports anymore.
yeah. Well, what is your favorite activity at camp that
Oh,
it could be group activity, it could be out camping, theme days, whatever. I mean, it could be small thing. What's your favorite thing we do at camp? Camp.
there are so many things that I love at camp. That is hard. That is hard to decide. Um, let's see. Well, I really do. I love out camping. I think out camping is just such a bonding experience.
Mhm.
I love how much you get to just like talk to the people in your group during that time and get to know them. But I'm also a huge fan of cabin activity. Like as of this year, cabin activity was probably my favorite thing.
Mhm.
Just the random things to come up with and to see other people come up with. It's just so fun, and you get to really get close with your cabin during that time.
That is fun. Um, I remember the Where's Waldo? That was a good one you did. Uh,
Yep.
Super fun to see. Do you have a favorite food? Not camp food, in general, food. Any type of food, dessert, breakfast, dinner, whatever.
Who probably my favorite food group is probably like fruits. Just in general, I love like strawberries, mangoes, peaches, apples. Really, I think I like every single fruit that I've ever tried. Yeah. Oh, raspberries. Yeah, I love fruit.
If there is someone from the Bible that you could sit down with someday in heaven and ask questions to know more details from a story they lived in the Bible, who would it be and what story?
This is a hard question.
Oh.
Just one person?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably many, but like one that comes to mind.
Okay. Well, let's see. Um, probably Mary, the mother of Jesus. Um, that would just be so interesting to hear from her perspective. I mean, she's seen an angel. I would want to know how she raised like the perfect son of God, like how she went about that, what it was like just getting to experience his whole life. Oh, I guess I could have chose Jesus. That probably would have been a better answer.
That's okay. I think
But
good. Jesus probably is one of those like, who would all like to talk to him.
right, he can be there too. We'll
Yes.
talk to both of them.
I think that's cool because yeah, there's a whole lot of things that would be interesting to know from Mary. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time today to do this. I want to give you the last word. So, you shared kind of encouragement for any campers or anybody listening earlier, but what encouragement would you like to share with any of your campers? So, the kids that are actually in your cabins this summer, if they happen to listen to this. So, it doesn't have to do with the theme we talked about today or anything, just anything you'd want to tell those kids.
Um, I just would want to I want to tell my campers that I love them and I think about them often. Every time I go to chapel and I hear something, I'm like, oh, I wish I could have told them this. Like I just have so much I have so much love for you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys again. And I hope you are doing great things. I know that all of you are. And I just hope you're having a great school year, and I can't wait to see you all next year or this summer.
Yeah, this summer. Well, thank you so much, Ro, and everybody listening. Hope you're encouraged and enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.